This week on History Homos.
Let's do our mini book review. And this will be going out on YouTube, and it's sort of like a preview of what what our premium episodes are. I'm assuming that this will be included in the clip.
Yeah, we finished talking. We finished saying the M word.
Yeah, but we literally just finished saying the N word. Yeah. But it's going on YouTube, so there'll be no N words here. Nope. Thank you very much.
Only the word nice.
Yeah, nice. Do I have that sound?
Oh, by the way, little N wordina, YouTube master. We should really, if we're doing YouTube segments, we should get her to executive produce them.
Sure, Def. Yeah.
She gets thousands of views on her dragon puppet videos.
Well, don't dox her. She's probably one of the most well-known dragon puppet YouTubers on the net.
You have no idea what dragon puppet YouTube is, dude.
Hey, I'm sorry.
It's way bigger than Schizo Rightoid Twitter, YouTube. I'll tell you
that. Sweet. Okay, but anyway, so the book that we were tasked to, who shall we say? We'll say a interested party.
Yeah.
Is who tasked us to give our take on this book. The book being Plunkett of Tammany Hall,
right?
Which was transcribed essentially by the journalist William L. Reardon.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Thomas Carlyle book. It wasn't really a book; it was just lectures.
Right. Or it's more even like a conversations even.
Yeah.
So it's worth mentioning that, of course, this was the only way this could have happened because if I'm not mistaken, Plunkett, the eponymous Plunkett, is indeed illiterate.
Right. Oh no, I just ruined it.
It's fine. I think we said it close enough to each other that YouTube will not notice. But anyway, so yes, Plunkett is illiterate, so this is the only way you could read this book is if William Reardon transcribed it. Anyway, so Plunkett is many people are familiar with the Tammany Hall era of New York politics. It is depicted in that dreadful fucking movie, Gangs of New York, which I don't know if you ended up watching, but I watched.
No, I didn't see it.
I watched it in preparation for the episode we did with Dan Kreisman about the New York City draft riots.
Yeah.
The
Germans.
The Germans, right? But I also have to mention again that movie really wigged me out, especially in the scene where I believe Cameron Diaz sucks on the nipples of is it Leonardo DiCaprio.
Why do men even have nipples, bro?
Great fucking question.
I hate having mine sucked. It really annoys me. I'm like, get off me.
Right.
You whore.
I can't say I've ever had the pleasure, but I think okay, well, you know what? I'm not missing out on anything then. But it was so weird. Okay, I gotta stop talking about that movie. That movie sucks though.
Yeah.
But it is kind of relevant because it is sort of this time period. But so at the time there was this guy named Boss Tweed at the time that movie / historical event took place. But the next boss of Tammany Hall essentially was this fella here, Boss Plunkett. George Washington Plunkett. And he
black guy name if you've ever heard one, by the
George
way.
Washington Plunkett. Yeah, you're right. Shit, we run this city.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay. I have to mention what the whole Tammany Hall situation is. Tammany Hall was like a similar organization to like the Freemasons. It was not the Freemasons, but it was similar to the Freemasons in the sense that it was like a fraternal order. And it was heavily, I want to say almost literally the same thing as the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
There, like all of the Democrats were in the Tammany Hall Club or whatever society,
democracy,
perhaps. Oh yeah, they call them democracies. That's right. Yeah. The way it worked was basically the mob. Essentially, is like how it worked.
It's basically it's Joe Biden, isn't it? It's that.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, one hand washes the other, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very actually that's very interesting you equate it to Biden because it is very similar to Biden in the sense that like it's all getting guys he knows, money, which gets
Yeah.
kickbacks and it was something that was called the spoils system, which was like actually really the like the what's the word? Like the absolute like what's the word when it's like the thing that fucks it up the most? Like the bane. It was the bane of the American political system of the time. And
But it's the logical and inevitable product of having an effective democracy. If you have a democracy that works, that is what it will become. Because if it works, there's a big incentive for, and it is a genuine democracy, then there's such an incentive for that kind of thing to start happening.
So true. And also
Plunkett lays it out really well as well.
Good point. And he is clever, by the way. I do want to make pains to say that I thought a lot of the things he said was really smart. He is crafty, yeah. But he actually his main like sort of premise throughout the story or the book rather is he wants to differentiate between what is he calls honest graft and dishonest graft.
Yeah.
And dishonest graft is like when you're literally taking money out of an account, secretively, and like embezzling or whatever. And honest graft is basically what Nancy Pelosi does.
Yeah.
Essentially, where she just knows all the stocks are going to get boosts by, new trade agreements and all this other
I'd be like, I knew this was going to happen. I'd be crazy if I didn't buy all the land.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Specifically he brings up that he knew that like a gas expansion was going to happen or something in a neighborhood that he was passing legislation on. He bought the land and then sold it back to the government at a premium. And he actually, despite being illiterate, as I said, and born in a tenement house, by the age of like 40 he was like a millionaire in that era's money, which is an immense amount of fucking money. So that is who he is. And also and I also just want to really put the fine point on how the spoil system worked was you basically it was like essentially like I made the illusion before, but it's like sort of like the mob where you get in with a crew kind of for like each neighborhood.
We saw that with that guy in the Chicago episode was trying to get in on.
Which Chicago?
The guy who killed the mayor. The
yes. Oh yeah.
World's Fair thing. Yeah,
it literally was the spoil system. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he felt because he had campaigned. So we're talking about the book Devil in the White City, where the mayor of Chicago had been shot by some like itinerant worker guy, but he felt snubbed because he had, gone around and done probably violence for the political machine, which is really how this shit worked. Is if you said you weren't going to vote for whoever they said, they would fuck you up.
Yeah.
And it was big money. I mean, if you were going against what they said, that meant all their jobs were in jeopardy or whatever. And look, it ended up getting this mayor of Chicago shot to death over it. Yeah. So I was obviously pretty serious business. And so when they would win, after you would, pledge fealty to kiss the ring to the Tammany Club, you would, if you had worked your way up and done enough things for the organization, you would then get a cushy, basically no-show job like the mob. Like literally in The Sopranos, when remember the guys had to sit at the fucking work site and just would play cards and smoke all day. Yeah. And that was them getting paid to be foreman on the fucking, on the work site. So, I mean, listen, if you were connected, buku bucks, baby, sweet. But most people were getting strong-armed into voting for someone that did nothing for them. Or that's the thing. We have to mention that his whole philosophy, as he says to us, is that he turns around and gives away his fortune in order to keep the people of his district happy. But you don't become a millionaire by giving away all your money.
No, that is true. But yeah, I do think like
Very charming too. I gotta say that
he's charming, and he's got a pretty good logical argument for his own corruption, a justification for it, and there's this to be said in his favor, is that what he's doing is genuinely democratic, and if you think democracy is a good thing, I've got a bridge to sell you, but yeah, that's what democracy is, and I think he's right about that. But it just underlies this whole like libertarian thing of,
line go
it's
up.
just the state is, the state power is just the exclusive use of violence.
Oh, monopoly of violence.
Monopoly of violence. Yeah, that's what it is. Right, okay, we've got the monopoly of violence, so now we're going to look after our people.
Right.
What are you going to do about it, dickhead?
Nothing. You're going to vote for the democratic machine.
Yeah,
because hopefully you get a job that way.
I mean, what's his Boss Hogg was like that in Hazard County.
Yeah, that's who they based. That's the kind of guy they based this off of. Yeah. But also I gotta. So we have to cover. Hang on, I'll go through the chapters and read and give you.
Fucking Dukes of Hazzard was such a good show.
It was a good show. It was a good show. All right, honest graph and dishonest. Honest graph and dishonest graph. We explain that. How to become a statesman. This is actually one of the best chapters in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Where he starts out, he goes, "How do you become a politician? Very simple. You get one guy and say." And say, "Will you vote for me?" And that guy goes, "Yes, sir. I have your back all the way." Now you have 100% more support than you did before. You have 2 votes. You're halfway there. And I love that. That is so fucking clever and charming.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third chapter is the curse of civil service reform. This is great. This is like his whole
He's
thing.
onto something here, dude.
No. The civil service reform is the only thing that stopped this fucked up system.
Yeah, but what did it replace it with? This is the point. It replaced it with the deep state. He was warning us about the deep state.
I guess there's two minds. I'm in 2 minds about it, because it's like fucked if you are, fucked if you don't.
No, but look, listen. I'm 100% with him on the fucking civil service reform.
Okay.
Because look, if you're going to have a democracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knew this, all the civil service jobs, like the public sector jobs, go to people who voted for this guy, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. And they can't read and write, and they're fucking idiots, right? And they can't do anything. Now, all those jobs are just as fucking sewn up, but they go to literal. Oh, I can't say that word. Rhymes with maggot. University guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're making a good case here.
What's so? Yeah, but what's played out since then is to my mind, is proved him.
But I agree with you. I agree with you that in effect you're correct. But he didn't have that kind of high-minded reasoning behind it.
You've now got a permanent civil service, which, like Trump, for instance,
right,
ordered the U.S. military to pull out of Syria, and it didn't.
Right. I mean, yeah, you have a good point. Military is as another whole.
Yeah,
but they have the whole.
That happened. You think that's the only time that happened? That happened at every single fucking level.
Right.
Like so sure. that the democratic power orders that this is going to happen, and it just doesn't happen because the permanent civil service doesn't do it. Now it's a relatively recent thing that people who point that out are called rightoid conspiracy theorists, because it used to be like there's a whole 80s British sitcom called Yes Minister, which is just about that.
Right. Yeah.
So all these libtards, and they'll all watch that, and then look at they'll watch that and say, "Oh yeah, it's my favorite. I used to love that in the 80s. I still watch it all the time on fucking UK Gold."
They
TV
didn't
channel.
absorb. They haven't absorbed.
But and then they'll turn around to you and say, "Yeah, there's no such thing as a deep state. That's just Donald Trump made that up." Like that's what it is. That's how it works. And it's all because poor old Plunkett got fucked over.
I agree with you, but he doesn't have the high-minded reasoning that you're stating.
Yeah, sure.
He's just saying, I can't get the literal the knuckle busters that I employ jobs. That is his reasoning for it. Yeah. But the best thing, this is why I actually really enjoy the.
But I'm on his side of wanting to get those fucking idiots government jobs.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them are scumbags, though.
Yeah, but I'd rather they had it than these. You know what? Rhymes with Blionist.
I think you can say that on YouTube.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it rhymes with Blionists.
Okay. Lionists.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say though?
But yeah, by the way, that just reminds me, divert in here. Blarret and Bleed have got a new show out, so watch that, people. Friends of the show, Blarret and Bleed. Oh no.
Okay,
Did I
I'm
go
back.
Okay.
No, it was me, I guess, but it's working now.
Right, okay.
Boy, what a YouTube clip. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Okay, but fair enough, and I don't disagree with you at all. But my favorite way is the way he argues against it is not by saying what you're saying.
Yeah.
Which would be a great sell for anyone, maybe even then and now.
Yeah.
But instead, he literally makes up a straw man fake story about a guy that he knows. He literally makes up a fake story that definitely didn't happen about a guy he knows that was. Oh, the other thing he likes to do is say how a real American fires off firecrackers on the 4th of July.
So true.
It's so fucking true. But yeah, so he's like, I knew this guy. It was the most patriotic guy in his block. Every single 4th of July, he'd be firing off firecrackers.
He spent literally all his money. His dog ran away the week before the 4th of July and didn't come back until a week after. That's how many firecrackers he had.
So true. And then so the fake story goes on that he went to get a job for the government and had to take the civil service exam. And then after that, there's like 3 or 4 versions of this story he tells in this book. And they're supposedly all different.
I wish I could remember what his example, because he talks about this a lot, doesn't he? And he always uses these like straw man examples of what the questions are, like, you know, how many leagues of water are in the ocean? It's like, I don't think that's the question. I don't think that's what's on there. It's probably like, spell the place you were born. I think he said one of the questions was tell me everything you don't know about Latin grammar.
Yes. That was definitely one. Yeah. Latin and Greek grammar.
Yeah.
So he makes up 3 or 4 different of these fake stories. One of them he becomes a communist, one of them he kills himself, and one of them he drinks himself to death.
Yeah.
All because he failed the civil service exam.
Yeah. Couldn't become a fireman.
Yeah, he couldn't get a no-show job at the fucking docks. And then go back to beating up people who say they won't vote for the political machine.
Yeah. I don't get that political, because you can tell everybody you're going to vote for him, can't you?
Yeah, of course you could go. Oh no, the way they didn't have it's not like a secret ballot like it is like today. Apparently, remember when we did the episode on the Battle of Athens, where like everyone had to say who they were voting to a guy, and then that meant that they could intimidate you into doing the wrong thing.
That's crazy,
right? I mean, this was back in the old days. I don't, shit was fucked up, yo. Okay, so. Where are we at? This next chapter, Reformers Only Morning Glories. This one was literally, he presaged Ted Kaczynski with this one.
Right.
Because if you recall, Ted Kaczynski had a whole section in his manifesto about how any reform movement that will try to take back, industrial society is inevitably going to fall. It's even if it goes back for a while, it's going to creep back forward.
Sure.
And that's just the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? That's
sure. I mean, like, if you know how to make a bicycle, if you like the thing that stopped people from making bicycles before they got invented was nobody thought of it.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't any kind of.
Yeah. If someone just says, stop the bicycle presses.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time till someone just switches that machine back on.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, that's such a universal fact of history, I suppose. That even our friend here, with George Washington Plunkett, was able to pick it out and identify it.
They reckon Leonardo da Vinci is such a genius because he thought up the helicopter in an era where it was impossible to build a helicopter. But
because there was no combustion engine.
He could have built a bicycle if he'd have thought of that. But he didn't, because he's a fucking idiot. Who can't think of a bicycle? It's much easier to think of than a helicopter.
You know, you're onto something there.
Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Did I ever tell you there's a guy I used to work, a gay Cuban guy I used to work with, who swore that Leonardo da Vinci, every Greek philosopher, and Jesus were all gay?
Right. No, I didn't. No, I don't remember that.
Oh, so I guess I've just told you the first time then.
Yeah. I think he's mistaken.
I think he's wrong too. Yeah. So okay, there's a bunch here where he's just talking about the current politics, and again, nothing really I have to comment on so much. But it was all very charming stuff, obviously. Now this is
it's charming up to a point, isn't it? But I'm gonna come across as a bit of a fucking right-eyed idiot here, but it's got no philosophical grounding in it or
whatsoever.
He never mentions God, and like, to be honest, I find anyone who doesn't mention God kind of cringe now.
Yeah, I mean, especially as a politician, it seems kind of like a bad idea then.
Yeah, but even that, like, I just don't think. And yeah, lots of when people used to mention God all the time, it was cringe. But now that they don't, I get why they did.
Sure, definitely. I know what you mean. Okay, but I have to. This is where this is my big. I sent you a photo of this page that I had was reading out of the book, and let me just read it. I really feel like this passage here sums up the entire book. Let me tell you too that I got jobs from Republicans in office, federal and otherwise. Yeah. When Tammany's on top, I do good turns for the Republicans. When they're on top, they don't forget me. Me and the Republicans are enemies on just one day in the year, Election Day.
Yeah.
Then we fight tooth and nail. The rest of the time, it's live and let live with us.
Yeah.
On Election Day, I try to pile up as big a majority as I can against George Wanamaker, the Republican leader of the 15th. Any other day, George and I are the best of friends. I can go to him and say, George, I want you to place this friend of mine. He says, all right, Senator, or vice versa. You see, we differ on tariffs and currencies and all them things, but we agree on the main proposition that when a man works in politics, he should get something out of it. The politicians have got to stand together this way, or there wouldn't be political parties in a short time. Perish the thought.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that last bit was me. Perish the thought.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but they've. Yeah, I mean, there's something
that sums it all up right there. It's like this guy is he's on the tape. You know what I mean? He can talk all day about it being honest graft if all he wants, but he has zero principles, as you said. Yeah. He has not a political idea in his head whatsoever. Again, if he had made a great speech about how the civil service is going to lead to a permanent deep state,
yeah,
go off, King.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He said, "This is bullshit. I can't get my knuckle busters doing jobs." But that was my big thing for that. But then also, this is the best thing. So also, people look back at this book and go like, man, what a guy. Like I looked up when I typed it in on Google, I found a bunch of people being like, this guy was a real American character. You know what I mean?
Well, the fact that he's
disagree.
honest, like radical honesty
is based
and always has been shocking.
Yeah.
And
it's also good.
It's cool. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it?
It's dynamite.
It's like Brown Snake does it with it. Women on Twitter post those selfies and say rate me out of 10, and he does.
Yeah. And like just does the like, like the like, oh, you have like weird eyelids or something, like not even a real criticism.
Couldn't you have put all that stuff on the countertop away before you took the photograph?
That's a great question. He poses, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the thing that I found very funny is that a lot of the chapters in this book also are him basically cutting wrestling promos on various other real people. Yeah. He's being like, let me tell you, George Wanmaker, I'm coming for you, brother. Yeah. Basically, he's doing that. But my favorite chapter here is him saying, in the chapter is called Ingratitude in Politics. And this whole thing is, again, him cutting a wrestling promo on this guy called The McManus.
Yeah.
Was his nickname.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me tell you, Sonny, I've been around the block a time or two, and let me tell you, this guy, he turned his back on me when I needed X, Y, and Z. I couldn't remember what it was.
I was too trusted because I'm such a good guy. People warned me about him, but I said, nah, I like this guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to give him a chance.
Right. And then apparently he backstabbed him. But then he goes, but mark my words, this man will not succeed in politics.
Yeah.
The McManus was the next major leader of Tammany Hall for the next 20 or 30 years after Plunkett left office.
I didn't know that. That rules, dude.
Yeah, it really does rule, that little detail.
Yeah.
And it says it in the preface to the book, the preface to the book that I have, the copy that I have.
Right,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have it in the copy. But that is like that's great because it totally, although he's very convincing, it just shows that he was talking out of his ass, doesn't it?
Totally
doesn't know what he's talking about at all.
But
I missed that little wrinkle. That's so good.
That's so funny, right? Yeah. Oh man, but so what else? I think let me just look at the table of contents again one last time and see if we'll talk a little bit about the fact that what he actually did for his people too. The other thing is, this really fucking chat my ass. He goes, I think the government should own every industry.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, can you have worse takes? No, you can't. But what's it called?
And he's like a contemporary of Lysander Spooner as well, isn't he? You think that
I think he's a little after.
Yeah, not much though.
He must have known. I mean, he might not have known, but it was in the zeitgeist. This Lysander Spooner was in the zeitgeist for sure.
It's just wild that like these the barbarians have just completely taken over from the the Spooners and the Carlyles and all those guys. Whew, gone with the wind, dude. It's over. It's so over. Yeah. We're now 100% fucking Plunkett.
What's it called? So the last thing I wanted to say though is the last chapter in the book is called The Strenuous Life of the Tammany District Leader, and it has like a day in the life of George Washington Plunkett. And I will say this about him. If this is truthful, we don't know, obviously, how truthful this is. It could be several days condensed into one to make him seem like he had a lot to do. But he apparently, every time there was a fire in his district, he would just go out and like hand money to the family that's house burned down. And be like, all right, I got a place for you here. We'll take care of you, and then we'll get you back on your feet. Of course, now you have to vote for me.
Yeah.
Although you would anyway, of course, if you did that. But the other thing is like when he came home from that affair, he walked on it. There was 3 guys standing up by his stoop being like, "Sir, can I get a job?"
Yeah.
And he got all 3 of them jobs. Oh, 2 of them needed a job, and one of them needed his old job back.
He goes into quite a bit of detail about how all the different factions within Tammany Hall and the other political organizations all have this thing where they're keeping an eye on where the fires are, so that they race each other to the scene to be the first to help out the stricken families. Was it going through your mind the whole time you're reading that, of who the fuck is lighting all these fires?
Didn't until just now, but I think it's a little bit of lionist lightning.
Yeah.
Maybe a foot.
Yeah.
Anyway, but well, I enjoyed the book at any rate, because especially that it got me thinking about a lot of different things, of course. And look how thin this motherfucker is. It was 95 pages. Easy, it was a literal one-day read.
Yeah. I listened to it on the text-to-speech thing while I was doing the laundry.
Yeah, and it just you raced right through it. And so shouts out to our benefactor who sent us this book. And hopefully you enjoyed our review. And also that concludes this week's bonus episode.
Awesome.
We did it.
We've done it.
So, David Dingan, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, but shall I tell you what I told the audience when you were away?
No, keep it a secret.
Okay.
You enjoy it. This is your first time getting to have this little moment with
Okay,
us.
well, what I'll say is this then to the audience. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, no. What happened? All right. Later, homos. Oh, God.
Subscribe to rockfin.com/historyhomos for all your History Homos premium content and more.